Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today, inshallah, we will explain how to control an object we have inside the scene by using the keyboard, for example. In order to do that, I'm not going to use the same script I used before. I can, but it's better to create a new one to make the code clearer for you. So here, scripting, mono behavior, one short for controllers, and double click. I need to define the game object first. Game object B1, for example. I'm going to put the ball I'm going to control, for example, or any object I want to control by using this variable. Here inside the update, because I need it to be inside the update because I want the system to check all the time if the user click on the keyboard, then something is going to happen inside the game or the test or the play. In order to do that, I need to use something called the if statement or the statement. It's work like based on logic. We use the if statement to check something inside the game or inside the application. If something happened, then you can write your orders. So here, what we are going to check, we are going to check if someone click on a certain button on, or key on keyboard, then something is going to happen. For example, here, as I said, I'm going to check the keyboard keys. So here, if input dot get key, and remember, focus on the capital letter and small letter. I need to open two new parentheses, and between them, the key code dot, I can select, if I want to select a letter, I can select one of the letters on the keyboard, or I want to use today I'm going to select the arrow. For example, up arrow. If this happen, then what I want to do, if the user clicked on the up arrow, I want to translate the object to up. So here, the game object I defined here, let me make it, it's better to change the name to small. P1 dot transform dot translate the y-axis 1. I want to move the object up. So up it is going to be in y-axis. I'm going to change the value by 1. Let me click on save to check whether it work or not. Remember, I specified the key that I want to check. Let me click on play. Yeah, you need to attach the game object. First of all, here, the empty game object. I'm going to uncheck the code. I don't want this code to be executed. And I'm going to attach the other script also to the empty game object. And here, for example, if I want to control this, the raw image, I need to attach it inside the empty game object inside the game here, P1. So click and drag, and now it should work. As you see, it is work. Of course, here I selected .getKey. There are three types of getting key or creating something. We call it a listener that listens when the user click on a button. There are three types usually we use in the programming. This one will keep checking. That means if the user is holding one of the keys, keep clicking on it, then the order here will keep executing and until the user move his finger on that key. But if we want the code to be executed for one time, here, let me change it to down. Down arrow, but here instead of get key down. Now I'm going to test the key down, what is going to do. So here in down and up, the Y will be in positive. The down, Y will be in negative. So -1. And let me click on save. Let me play. Up, as I said, with one click, it will keep repeating if you keep your finger on the key. Down, if you keep, even if you keep your finger on the down key, arrow key, the code will be executed for one time. So that's the difference between the get key and get key down. And we need, in games, we need both of them. For example, if we want to jump, we don't want the object to fly, so we can use the get key down. If we want to move the object left or right, up and down, just for movement, we can use the get key. And the third one we have will be executed once we move our finger on the key. And that's called up. Here, let me check the, for example, the right arrow. So here, changing the value will be in Y, and X-axis, sorry. Here, the code will be executed when I have get key up. When I move my finger on the from the key. As you see my mouse on the key now, nothing is changed. The object didn't move to right. When I move the mouse, the code got executed. So that's the differences between the get key down and key up. For the key down and key up now, I don't need, so I'm going to change them to a comment. Because I have more than one line, instead of two slashes, I'm going to use a slash and star. And here at the end of the code, what I am going to do, another star and slash. Between these two stars and slashes, everything will be as a comment, not a code. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this code and duplicate it. I use the down here, up, down, and right. And here I need left. I need to change the value. Down must be in minus, right, x-axis plus, and left x-axis in minus. And let me click on save. Let me click on play now. Now, as you see, I can move the object by using the arrows. I can move it based on the code I wrote here. And that's how we can control an object by using by writing the C# code. For the object I control here, I'm going to add an extra component. For example, I want the virtual world here inside the scene see this object or make the object physically appear, or the system sees this object, or this object could make an effect inside the scene. How can I do that? First of all, I can use the component from here. As I said, physics 2D. The first thing I'm going to add, box collider. Means the box collider means that the object, when the object hit anything, or pass through, or hit anything, something might be happen based on what we specify from here. Of course, I added a box collider. I can add, instead of box collider, I can add a circle to collider 2D. And I'm going to use it, not the box collider. But here, of course, I need to change the scale. So this green line will define the where is the area that when it hit something else, something is going to happen based on, as I said, what we specified. Now, if I click on a play, nothing is going to happen, but I'm going to add a graffiti material to this object. Because I'm working with 2D objects, I'm going to use physics 2D. And here I'm going to add a rigid body. Inside the rigid body, there are many parameters we can change or adjust. But for now, I'm going, and also I'm not going to explain them now. But here we have, for example, the mass. I'm going to change it to 10. And the gravity scale, I'm going to make it 20. I added the gravity features to the object I have. And I'm going to GameObject UI element. I'm going to create a new image. As you see, I'm going to change the color. I'm not going to attach an image. I'm going to change the color like this. And then I'm going to change the scale. Now, take a look what's going to happen when I have an object without collider. This object without collider. The ball will pass through. And for as you see, the ball fall down because of the gravity feature I add to it. Okay, let me add a box collider to this rectangle. Physics 2D box collider. course, I need to adjust the size. And now, if I click on a play, let us see what is going to happen. See, a collision happened. Now these objects are exist and sees each other in the virtual world. Okay, let me make the game here and the original one here and take a look. For example, if I change the scale of the box collider for the rectangle in y-axis, see, the collision will be based on what? On the collider I added. Also, the ball, same. I change the radius. Take a look what's going to happen. Okay. Now, remember, I have controllers. Can I use them? Yes, I can. But the up, of course, will not keep moving up because of the gravity. And if I want to change the up, as I said, it's like character jumping. I need to change the up from the code here. Up arrow, get key. As I said, I want the code to be executed for one time. So get key down, and instead of one, I'm going to make it 10, for example, and save. Let us try it again. I need to increase it more. For example, 100 and save. As you see. And that's how we can add graffiti, how we can make a collision, add a collider to make the objects collide with each other. And by the way, there's an extra features we can deal with. For example, the damping, the ball bouncing when it hits the ground or hits something. We will explain more about them in the future, inshallah. That's it for today, and see you next tutorial, inshallah. Thank you.